All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you. This is 9 Minutes with me on IGTV, Facebook, and YouTube. And it's all brought to you by our great friends at Empower Federal Credit Union. Go ahead and log on to empowerfcu.com today and find your peace of mind with Empower Federal Credit Union. We're also supported by Bryant Stratton College, Hides of Liverpool, and our terrific friends over at Barks and Rec Doggy Daycare. If you are in and around Central New York, you got to drop your pup off while you're at work for a little daycare action. They have the full daycare. They have doggy grooming and washing, you name it. Barks and Rec, the official doggy daycare of the ML Sports Platter. Don't forget to go like their Facebook page. Check out all the pictures of Barks and Rec as well. And don't forget that they are working in conjunction with B&R Bunker House Adoptables. Make sure you adopt that pet. Let's get these dogs in some safe homes and away from terrible shelters and terrible situations and bad people with B&R Bunker House Adoptables, like both on Facebook today. I want to get into Eli Manning a little bit. Tonight is a big night, I think, for Eli. I think for New York Giants football. His future obviously is right now a huge question mark, whether it's New York or not. Maybe it's somewhere else. Maybe it's nowhere else. Maybe this is the final go-round. But in a season that's been downright pathetic for the New York Football Giants, in a season that has been a disaster for the New York Football Giants at 2-10, 0 playmakers on defense. Saquon Barkley, literally the only reason to watch this team. And Daniel Jones, of course, getting hurt. Pat Shurmur can't get out of his own way as a head coach. David Gettleman is a complete clown as a general manager. I think this is actually a great thing for Eli Manning to get in there and play a couple more football games. Now, I know what people are thinking. This guy's done. He's washed up. There are naysayers out there, the haters who actually think that Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer. I'll get to that in a minute. But this is what's right, isn't it? I mean, this guy has been everything and more that you could have asked as a New York Giants football fan. Now, look, I understand that the Giants, they have gone on some recent hard times. I understand in the non-Super Bowl winning years that there's been some really bad years in there. I realize that there's been a lot of turmoil and some change in the front office and change with the head coach. But look, the overall precedent that Eli Manning has set, and I know he cried his way out of San Diego and all the rest and got traded and all to New York. But he's had the same exact face his entire career, whether he's been on the top of the football mountain beating New England in the Super Bowl or he's had horrific seasons and missed the postseason. Eli Manning's been the same guy the entire way. And I got to tell you, when you think about this guy's career, you think about handling everything in New York, when you think about winning those Super Bowls against the Patriots, I mean, the Giants beat the Patriots twice. And a lot of people don't even give Eli any credit because they think it was all about the pass rush both times. And I would tell you, take a quick time out on that one for a second. Are you forgetting the fourth quarter throws? I understand David Tyree came down with a helmet catch and the like, but what about the backdoor throws, the Plaxico Burress? What about the under 2-minute drives in the Super Bowl? What about the pass, the unbelievable pass to Manningham? What about the unbelievable guts and determination of Eli Manning? And oh, by the way, David Tyree doesn't even get a chance to go up and get that ball and bring it down trapped against his helmet if Eli Manning isn't mobile in the pocket getting away from Patriot pass rushers. So the fact that there's people out there who don't give Eli Manning any credit for those Super Bowls, they're fucking morons if you ask me. Now let's get to Eli Manning's career. Again, I think this is a cool thing for Eli Manning to get, to have a little swan song. I just think that is that's what's right about this season, I mean, why not, right? You got 4 games left. You got games against your rivals. The NFC East has been pathetic. Philly on the road, Miami at home, at Washington, and then Philadelphia at home. Eli's got 2 cracks at home to get a proper swan song. I think Giant fans should pay for a ticket and go and get on their feet and give this guy a standing ovation literally every single time he leaves the field. By the way, when you beat the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl, it almost feels like 4 Super Bowl wins because of the success of Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and company, 9 Super Bowls in the era and winning 6. But when you look at Eli Manning's career, look, I know the guy's thrown 241 interceptions. I realize the guy's record, I think it's 500 as we speak, or pretty close to. I think I read maybe yesterday that it was 116 and 116 or something like that. But again, this is about impact. This is about playing in New York. He's got over 56,000 yards. I know some of it is a product of the era. But before the arcade NFL and all the stats came about, don't forget Eli Manning, he's been in the league since 2004. The first maybe 7-8 years of his career, they were, it was in an offensive league, but certainly nothing like the last 4 to 6 years. Eli Manning got a lot of those yards in his first 5 to 7 years of his NFL career. And then you take a look at 362 touchdowns. I know the completion percentage is okay. I realize that it's a 500 type record for a quarterback. But it's about the big stage. It's about the huge moments. And I think Eli Manning, again, Eli Manning is not his brother. Eli Manning is not Troy Aikman. Eli Manning is not Joe Montana. He's not Steve Young. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Drew Brees. He's not Big Ben. He's not Bart Starr. He's not Otto Graham. He's not Johnny Unitas. He's not Dan Marino. He's not John Elway. I'm not saying any of that. But Eli Manning is Eli Manning. And Eli Manning, to me, is a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's for his ballot. Might not be second or third. But he is an eventual Hall of Famer. You can't look at 2 Super Bowl championships over New England and 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 4 Pro Bowlers, Pro Bowl seasons. You can't look at those and plus the stats that he has put up from a touchdown standpoint and a yardage standpoint and a passer rating about 84 or so. You can't look at those stats and just ignore, just poo-poo and go, he's not that good to be in the Hall of Fame. Listen, Joe Namath, if you look at his overall numbers from his career, you could argue that Joe Namath is absolutely not a Hall of Famer. I think you could argue it tenfold, obviously. But Joe Namath, as I'm pulling up his exact numbers, Joe Namath, he did not have a great NFL career. He was not a phenomenal, great quarterback. This guy, through 220 interceptions to 173 touchdowns, you could easily say, hey, no way, this guy's not Hall of Fame good. But it was about impact. There are certain guys who the one crowning moment or a 3 to 5 year period, 6 years, whatever, it's good enough. He was a passing yards leader, touchdown leader, comeback player of the year winner, Pro Bowler in 72. But it was Super Bowl III that helped put the NFL on the map, of course. The 2 big moments, the NFL championship of 58 between the Colts and the Giants, and then this game with the Jets and the Colts where he guaranteed victory and won. Joe Namath is a barely in Hall of Famer because of impact. If he were in baseball, he might not be a Hall of Famer. But when you look at the impact of that game and all the rest that it had on the league, and the fact that he was pretty darn good for a 5 to 7 year period, Joe Namath is a barely in Hall of Famer. I think Eli Manning's a lot of the same with that. Big stage, New York, beat the Patriots twice, landmark Super Bowl wins, and he's got some of the numbers. He's got the touchdown numbers and the yardage numbers. The completion percentage could be a little bit better. QBR could be a little bit better. But we don't really take that into consideration all the time with Hall of Famers. So I think Eli Manning's Hall of Famer, no question. But this is a really, really monumental evening for Eli to go into Philadelphia, play the Eagles. He's got 2 home games left. Again, the last couple home games, I think that Eli Manning, I think fans should go. I think you should pony up some money. I understand it's a tough time of year, Christmas time and the like, but whatever. I think you go give this guy the standing ovation and the cheers that he deserves in a swan song. When you talk about the long lineage of New York athletes, Willis Reed, Derek Jeter, Mark Messier, Joe Namath, Tom Seaver, goes on and on and on and on down the line. I think when you look at the long line of athletes in the history of that city, Brian Leach, Mike Richter, the Torrey Jeter, Bernie, Mo Rivera, Yankees, all those guys, Thurman Munson, Mantle, Gehrig, Ruth, Mattingly, all these guys, through DiMaggio through the years, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra. I think you're going to put Eli Manning right there. Strawberry Gooden. I think Eli Manning in the long line, one of the great New York athletes to ever play. And I think in a 2-10 pathetic season for the Giants, this is the proper ending to a horrific season. A bright note, a smile on the faces of people, and tip of the cap to Eli Manning, who is a Hall of Famer. No doubt in my mind. Thanks for watching 9 Minutes with me, Mike Lindsley, IGTV, Facebook, YouTube. This video brought to you by the Wolfenden Law Firm, Timberbanks Golf Club, and Brian Comboy of Mass Mutual, New York State. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.